Welcome back to our message from our Divine Compassionate Guides. Today we are pulling from the Kuan Yin Oracle, cards by Alana Fairchild. My name is Julianne Duffy, and my purpose is to live, speak, and seek the truth in all forms to help assist humanity in connecting to its highest form of authenticity. Today, I just wanted to get a feeling of what we're looking at. We're about mid-July, or going into like the middle part of July. So for today, I pulled on what do the guides have to say for us or tell us today, and I'm doing a four card spread, four card spread, and this is the Lotus Blossom card spread. And so this one we're going to look at first the heart of the issue. So this is going to be, maybe we're not even sure what the issue is right now, and this is going to be what the theme is around the issue, how we can best grow or heal from the said concern. And then this is our divine guidance, what our guides actually specifically have to say about this message, and what we're being suggested to do going forward. So that is how this one is laid out. So let's go right into this first part, which is really what is at the core of our issue. And we got the Tai Chi Rising. This card is very much about your energy center. And this one talks about, as your energy field grows, your words and thoughts have more potency. Like getting used to driving a car with a more powerful engine. Take your time and be careful as you realize the impact that your actions and thoughts will have in this world in forms now, like how it's going to create. And so this is a huge one that we may not see this as being an issue. However, we're kind of going back. We are really going back into our innate divine abilities. And this is going to be how we create the world, right? Through our words of what we say and what we believe and what we put our intention into. It's going to become more and more apparent where we put our attention, we are going to be creating that reality. So very much like I pulled before, where I suggest, live like you already have that, whatever that goal is, already accomplished. So start having that attitude, picturing that's already done, what is going to happen, and put that energy consistently into it, right? And this one is really at the issue is us learning that we have this immense power. And that's the first part, is we're being reminded essentially that we have this power. We're stepping into this huge ability to essentially impact the world around us greatly by what we decide to speak, what we decide to do. And so with that, this is some of the things that we can do, or the recommendation of how we should heal or go through with these issues. And don't mind my nails, I was in the garden today. This is the Princess of the Autumn Harvest card. So this is really about reaping the rewards that we did, to remember that we deserve to have abundance. So manifesting things to assist us is not necessarily bad. We want to be open to the communication we're getting from the higher realms. So being able to open to receive more blessings in our life is what this card talks about. And there's lots of things available for us. And, remembering this, the easy way to do this is gratitude, having that attitude of gratitude. So as we're going forward and our energy is rising, and what we're saying we're going to be able to create, it's going to be much more powerful. And this is going to assist us if we're really coming from that grateful, heart-centered place. And that's going to give it the energy, spunk it up enough that we're going to really create from that attitude of gratitude, right? From that heart-centered focus. Now we go into what the spiritual guides, like our divine guide, what did they specifically want us to know about this situation that they're telling us about? Sound of the Fierce Flute. This one is about being able to really discern. This is a discernment card. Is the sound flute, is it really an emergency or is it not an emergency, right? Be able to discern, which is not necessarily judgment, right? So where discernment is not judgment, it does not render something better than or worse than other things. It is a power of selection based on desire or intention. If we intend to grow through joy and adventure rather than fear or suffering, we can then use our discernment to make choices that feel expansive and uplifting rather than constrictive or draining. So this is I feel like reminding us, especially right now, that we need to use a lot of discernment on what we're doing, what we're putting our energy into, right? Because if that's what we're manifesting, and being open to the abundance around us. However, where is our energy going, right? So just that reminder that we have to be able to discern things too, that, not necessarily good or bad. Some things are more pleasant than other things, and we have reasons these things happen to us so we can move past them or find ways to deal with them. And then the more that you no matter what, there's always going to be some kind of chaotic thing that happens around you, right? So it's that discernment of where to put your energy, what you should be doing with it, right? And clearly, I feel like this discernment, especially with where your energy should go, is, I'm not going to say should, let's go back, is what is recommended here is really being able to discern your connection and what you want to create and being open to that abundance. I feel like that's what that really says. And then we'll go to the last part of the message, which is card number 4. And this one represents where we're being guided to go in the future. So let's do that. Let's get that card here. Shining Lotus. So that's another one of the most beautiful cards. I love this series, the Kuan Yin. And I wanted to I'm having a problem getting to my card page. There we go. Shining Lotus. So with this one, it's really about, obviously, when you're talking about the shining, you are expanding, you're being seen. That is something that we're being guided to do. So if we're going through with this 4th one being the guidance for the future is the shining lotus, this is, have you been hiding in the spiritual closet? Like, are you shining in your full spiritual beautiful guidance way, right? So if we review this and look at how this fits into that message, we've got that energy. We're being able to manifest what we say clearly and concisely, and we have to be much more aware of what we're saying. This is the discernment as well, that we are discerning and seeing things and really attempting to not allow ourselves to get really pulled out of this energetic center of being connected, to allow ourselves to be open to the abundance that will come. And that's with that trust. And then, discerning where we're putting our energy. And then the shining lotus is that reminder that we need to be a beautiful soul shining to light others. It doesn't mean that we have to make a grand announcement unless you really feel you need to, but it does suggest that there is something within you that you could share with another or be more open about in general. So there's something that needs to be really opened and released and letting go. Once you put energy into the world, you magnetically attract like-minded souls into your life, which will then encourage you to share yourself even more. So that's really what we're being guided, is that spiritual evolution of becoming that soul being we are. And the more we step into being this light and unapologetically the spiritual being we are, we can then use our discernment while our energies are growing, and we will be able to create this huge abundance in our reality. It's a beautiful message, and the guides want us to remember that we are, the ones we've been waiting for. We are the ones we've been waiting to go through this time, and we have everything backing us up. And, it's all there for us if you want to take that step, which is opening up, becoming that beautiful divine light being, knowing you have power and being fully aware of what you're saying and what you're manifesting and creating. Abundance is going to come, so being open to allow the abundance to come in, not being shut down because of traumas and hurts. And remember, we're learning how to discern clearly. So again, I feel like this is also so our energies don't get pulled in opposite ways. So when we have situations that happen that really suck, that might have before really pulled us out of alignment, can we get ourselves back into alignment quicker, or less of it, less of that energy, so some things don't even trigger us anymore. Maybe some things still do, but however we can get past them, sooner. So like that discernment of what we're doing too, right? And what we're also manifesting and creating. And that is our message. So this is our divine message for this week going forward. As always, please do subscribe to stay up to date with all of the messages. And if there's any message you would like to hear, please comment below. I'd love to answer or do a message for you. And other than that, as always, I hope this assisted you in the most abundant way. Until next time, have a beautiful, wonderful day. Namaste.